All right, everybody, we are back with another edition of the Fresh Takes podcast with Russo and Felice. I am Paul Russo. Across from me, as always, surprisingly wearing sleeves this week, is Nick Felice. Nick, how you doing today, bud?
You know, it was chilly. It was chilly in here.
It's been quite cold, yes.
But, you know, it's good to see we're back in our normal roles. You start the show.
Well, you know.
And I come in second, like I usually do. But, you know, it's another Tuesday.
Tis.
Still on Tuesdays at 10 o'clock, Eastern local time.
Eastern local time.
And we're talking something.
What do you mean something?
I forget.
We discuss what we wanted to talk about.
It's got to be football.
Well, duh. We're going to do NCAA first this week, as is tradition. Football tradition.
Big Syracuse win.
It was, but I don't know if
I was there. You were there.
I was there.
I was there for the second half. You were not.
It was hot up there. It was hot.
You left at halftime.
I had played.
The game was in the bag.
The game was in the bag.
It was a 6-point game.
Yeah, it was
in the fourth quarter.
The NFL Masked Singer Season 2 begins tomorrow. We'll preview that. I got the list of all the characters this year.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I have not seen
You have not seen it, so we'll break the news to you.
A couple of the commercials.
We'll break the news to you then about that, and we'll make our picks of who we think will win.
All right.
We got the MLB's final regular season week. Big races still up for grabs. Shout out to Ned Yost, who was retiring at the end of this season now, managing. Ned Yost, fun fact, was a substitute pit crew member while being a big league coach with the Braves for Dale Earnhardt.
Really?
Fun fact.
What year was this?
The early 90s. It was from 89 through 93, 94. So he was on the championship-winning pit crews.
Pretty cool.
We debuted a new segment that I'm very excited about because we enjoy putting in our bets out at Lago. We have Lock of the Week. We'll give you what game we think, lock it in, moneymaker for you. And then the return for both of us of our final fresh take. We haven't had one in probably a month or so, but we both have stuff we need to get off our chests. For me, I wanted to discuss.
You have something.
Spoiler: I wanted to discuss Ned Yost because he is a very great manager that unfortunately a lot of people forget about because he's in Kansas City, especially the past couple of years with how the team has effectively had to have been dismantled because of payroll. But I wanted to discuss about, hey, this was a guy who, even in Milwaukee, I felt Milwaukee got an unjust firing, but I'll stay away from that. Not going to spoil my actual final fresh take. That was going to be my final fresh take.
So is your first take.
My prequel take, yes. Let's move on to, like I said,
nice job,
our first topic then of the week. Unless you got anything you want a prequel take on.
No.
Okay. The NCAA football weekend, this might have been the funnest weekend so far of the year if you're looking at it from, I guess, an overall perspective. This was a season-breaking weekend in the NCAA. It really was. Friday night. We'll start Friday night. Kind of got things not in order. Utah goes to USC and loses to the third-string quarterback. What's his name? Matt Falk or something like that. Matt Finch or something. I don't even know his name. Matt Fink. That's his name.
Not Luke Falk.
Man, that Utah game I was high on too last week. Ended up being -3.5. The spread on that, I thought that was a gimme right off the bat. And before my NCAA football parlay could even get off the ground, it crash landed. Man, that sucks for Utah. Somebody, I can't remember who, somebody picked them to make it to the college football playoff this year. And
Utah.
Yeah, somebody did on game day. I can't remember who exactly, but it was. I kind of scratched my head at it a little bit. I knew they were good. I thought anybody out of the Pac-12, it's going to be Oregon this year. Yeah, I mean, they got to play. They weren't really first half. They definitely weren't in the game. They kind of made it something in the second half, but Matt Fink really ended up pulling out the game for USC. Clayton, he gets saved. That's it. That might be his salvage game, if you will. At least at the moment, I don't think you can really fire him. Maybe mid-season now, they get put 21st now in the AP poll, so interesting spot there. Another Friday. This was actually a Thursday night game. Did you see the end of this Tulane-Houston game, Nick, from last week?
No.
That game was a goddamn electric factory at the end of that.
I heard about the UCLA one.
Yeah, well, man, you guys are killing me with parlay. I mean, that one hurt just now. What you just said to me, even though my parlay was already shot.
You bet against UCLA,
maybe. Like it made a difference. Utah already ruined it for me. Either way, the end of that Tulane game was an electric factory. But anyway,
who did they play?
Houston.
Oh, Houston, yes.
But you brought up UCLA.
Wait, what happened to Tulane? I didn't see that game.
Oh! I thought you wanted to talk about that. I thought you wanted.
No, I did, but tell me what happened to Tulane first.
So Houston ties it up with like a minute left, and I mean Tulane. The quarterback first off gets out of a like stranglehold, and then I don't think I've ever seen a wide receiver. I don't know who it is, but he literally gets like sandwiched in between two guys going up for the catch, and gets out of it and just freaking runs in for the touchdown.
Wow.
Wild. Like I said, a goddamn electric factory.
Oh, yeah, I remember catching the end of that game because I was watching Thursday Night Football, and it went over to ESPN after the game, and that was on. And Tulane had a great comeback. That's right. I did see that. Then I saw the end of the game, them celebrate. But UCLA, I didn't watch that either, but I heard about it. Did you see it?
Well, I did not. That was a bit too much Pac-12 after dark for me. Even though I love Pac-12 after dark.
Yes. But if we really want to talk college football, I think as a Notre Dame fan,
oh boy,
my college football season is over. It's not over, but it's not good. Notre Dame, with their history, they have to go undefeated. And they did not. They played very well. Not great. I mean, they're lucky they got a touchdown at the end. I thought it was over when it was 23-10. And then they got a touchdown late. Then they got to stop. And they had a shot to try to win the game. And they didn't. But they played well. Showed that they could play with the big boys. But I don't think it's going to matter because I think Georgia's going to lose. They're not going to go undefeated. I think if Notre Dame goes 11-1 and Georgia goes undefeated, they got a shot at the playoff. But I think Georgia's going to lose. Might not be to Alabama in the SEC championship game, but they're going to lose. And it's going to hurt Notre Dame. But Notre Dame does have a good chance of getting 11-1 because their other tough game that I thought on their schedule was Michigan, and they just got absolutely destroyed by Wisconsin. So I got to like Notre Dame's chances in that game. But you have to run the tables, and that sucks when you're only 2-1.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, look at, I think, a big positive for Notre Dame. They really were pretty much in it the whole time. And then outside of, like, I'd say probably 2 or so drives in the fourth quarter, they are coming back strong there, it seemed like, for a hot minute. But wasn't, I guess, really meant to be, per se, at least in that realm. You mentioned Michigan. That game certainly surprised me. I thought Michigan would definitely beat Wisconsin. And man, I don't.
Are you putting Jim Harbaugh on the hot seat?
I think you almost have to at this point. It's been 5 years now. He has a below 500 record against these top 10 ranked opponents. You almost have to, and I kind of said it at the beginning of the year. the Ohio State game becomes must-win for him. I think if he for sure loses that, he's gone. Not that I don't think he's a good coach, but what has he done in Michigan? It hasn't been Ohio State. Curly hasn't really won any big games. Hasn't gotten to the college playoff. Hasn't gotten, even before that, to the BCS, the 1 year of what would have been BCS technically still. So
He's never made a BCS bowl?
No, I think they made it to what would have been a BCS bowl, but I mean, even then, the first year he didn't make it to a BCS bowl. Now they haven't made the playoff. You have to start wondering, especially with a program like Michigan, how much time does he honestly have left? I don't think it's much.
Unless he beats Ohio State.
No. Well, yeah, that's why I said I think Ohio State becomes a must-win.
But Ohio State looks good this year.
For him. Yeah, they definitely do. They throttled Miami of Ohio.
Army's a good team, but Michigan almost lost to them.
Yeah. Cuse did win. You alluded to it. Nice confidence game, as I would call it. But
I see the troughs are still there.
Yeah, I told you the troughs were still there.
I guess what I had when I went to the game?
Dome dog.
No, but I thought about it.
Nachos?
Nachos.
Of course. Did you have a nice Labatt draft?
Coors, I think.
You didn't have a proper Syracuse game then.
Coors Light.
Although to be fair, I had a Blue Moon draft at the game and not a Labatt draft.
Oh. Did you get a Dome Dog?
I did not. This week I did not actually. I didn't eat. Oh, I had a pack of M&Ms because I won a bet.
Oh. The first time.
I didn't eat this weekend. The noon games suck because we go out for breakfast and kind of tailgate a little bit before. So, like, noon games, like, I'm not really, like, hungry for anything.
Yeah. But I did get this.
They got a Friday night game coming up against Pitt in a few weeks where I'm sure I'll probably end up getting food because it's a 7 o'clock game. So, What you got over there?
I did get a video of the muff punt that Syracuse did get.
All right. Oh, yeah. This, yeah, you can kind of see me up top up there. Yeah, you can see me up top of my orange shirt.
Yeah, that's a great editing right there.
And the pack right there. Yeah, that was big. That was actually a really big play when you think about it in the first half. But let's see. Game day this week. Before we move on. Game day's in Nebraska this week, I believe, right? Yeah, they're in Nebraska for Ohio State, Nebraska. Yep. That should be a good game. CUSA's home at noon against Holy Cross. Big game for your Fighting Irish. They're hosting number 18 Virginia. Notre Dame down to 10, but you can make some moves there. That's for sure.
Any teams at the top to lose this year? Last year,
I think it's going to happen. I've
three
been
unbeatens last year.
I've been saying all year, I don't think this Alabama team's that good.
they're
good. Like, they're good, but I don't think they're like this.
You think they could lose to Auburn?
Yeah, I think they could. I think it's in. Is it in Auburn this year? I can't remember.
Yeah.
We don't really have time to go and look this episode.
They play LSU every year too.
Yeah.
It's a tough schedule.
And even then, they'll probably have to cross over. They have to cross over probably in the championship.
Play Georgia.
To play Georgia if they win. If they win out conference-wise. So
for Clemson, it's a little easier.
Yeah. Other big games Friday night: Penn State at Maryland. Any other straight up rank? Oh, USC's at Washington on Saturday.
Where'd you say game day was? Ohio State and who?
Nebraska.
Where is it?
In Nebraska.
All around should be a good week of college football.
Yeah.
If you're a fan. But we'll see.
Yeah. We'll see. NFL. Big week. You want to know, Nick? I'm going to start with you because I'm very happy for you. Daniel Jones, what a game. What's it like being a Giants fan right now for you? Knowing now I will preface this because it was a good point brought up today. What would have happened if the Tampa Bay kicker would have made that field goal? And I agree to a degree, but I think if that game still was a loss for the Giants, Daniel Jones still played extremely well.
Yes,
and
he still
really
get the
good.
love.
So what do you feel right now as a Giants fan?
Well, the Giants have lost a lot of games where they scored too early. And I thought this was, again, the case. And Jameis Winston and Mike Evans were pretty excited after that catch. They thought the game was in the bag. Well, it turned out it wasn't. I think that was the first missed field goal to try to win a game since it's Buffalo in the Super Bowl before I was born. I think it was before I was born. But anyway, it was a great performance. Sucks to hear about Saquon. But he'll be back. Daniel Jones, we'll see how he does without Saquon. He did it in the fourth quarter, second half without Saquon. So I like Daniel Jones. I like that he can run. I like that he just knows the game very well for that young of age and inexperience in the NFL. He looks like he's been playing forever the way he showed up on Sunday. And but got another easier game on Sunday against Washington. I like to see him play against a tougher competition, and he will. We'll see how he fares there. I think he should continue to play even when they play the Patriots. Even a lot of people say, let's get Eli to play that game against Brady. No. Eli, if most likely the Giants will not be in the playoff race, I think Daniel Jones will play, and then Eli will play Week 17, and he will retire. I think that's the end of Eli. I think he'll start Week 17, and that will be it for him. And it's got to be tough for Daniel. You know, he's a big fan. I saw a picture of him with Eli jersey way back in the day. He took his job. And next he'll probably take his girl. But I like him. I like him a lot. I don't know, Paul. You still I don't need to get you into the Redskins right now, but when is it time for Haskins to play? And what's your thoughts on Daniel Jones?
Well, I thought Daniel Jones looked really good. If you're in a quarterback situation in fantasy, I would recommend potentially maybe not risking your waiver wire selection this week on him.
MLB breaking news.
Oh, what? Whoa. What we got?
The Nationals close to play.
Wow.
More breaking news.
I tell you what, we are masters of this the past few weeks.
With the MLB.
But you know what? I think fantasy-wise, now with Saquon down, I think his upside goes. I think he has a nice upside. I thought he looked really good. You know, all things considered. You talk about Haskins, Week 6 against the Dolphins is when I'd probably make the first move. I kind of said to myself yesterday, put him in, but like I sat there and going, nah, probably not the best scenario.
It would be cool to see him play against Daniel Jones next week.
Yeah, I thought about maybe this upcoming week too, but I'd say with the positive momentum the Giants have, you know, their defense, the line kind of scares me a little bit. I think part of it's only because the Redskins' offensive line is god awful at the moment for the most part. I'd say Week 6 against the Dolphins is what I'd go with for Haskins, but
Michael Wilbon, PTI, our buddy, good friends. You know, he said
you golf with him.
Yes, he said you can make Haskins a starter this week, but then you got to keep him a starter. Then he has to play the Patriots the following week, and that can really hurt his confidence. Mm-hmm. But anyway, Paul, if you go to the straight shot.
Well, you want the straight shot, eh?
I did get a shot at you at the Syracuse game.
Yeah, see? Look at me. I'm all happy up there. And
you and who?
That's Hank.
Hank, your buddy.
Hank, yes.
Yep, you guys way up there. But anyway.
Best seats in the dome for football.
It's pretty good. But, yeah, I think I love to see Haskins and Daniel Jones play in Week 4 against each other. But I think when they play later in the season, it's going to happen.
Yeah. The Bills moved to 3-0 despite a shaky second half against the Bengals. Sets up what should be an interesting matchup, I think, this week against the Patriots.
Is Buffalo going to be rocking?
Patriots are going to win this game. Buffalo will be rocking. Patriots
Michael
will win.
Wilbon, our buddy from PTI, picked the Bills.
Well, okay. I'm not going that far.
He says the Patriots lose early ones.
Yeah, they do.
Game.
But I think
different team this year.
I don't know. The Bills. Josh Allen still showing some signs of rookie in him, which is understandable. But if you're a Bills fan, you got to feel really positive. I think at this point because, they struggle. Like I said, they struggled in the second half against the Bengals, but that defense showed up when it mattered. The offense made moves when it mattered.
Yep.
I think that's a really nice positive going into a week against the Patriots. Anything for that, Nick? Because I kind of want to move on to the last thing I really want to talk about.
Just the Bills, It's going to be a huge game this Sunday. I'd love to see him win. But I think Tom Brady is going to go, 31-3 against the Bills in his career if he wins this game. That is embarrassing. That is embarrassing. You play him twice a year. No one ever gets to do that, and you can't beat him 4 times in 20 years. It is embarrassing. But I do remember one time, probably 6-7 years ago now, 8 years, Bills did beat him in Buffalo. Oh, and I remember that's right. Tom Brady didn't play that one game in New England where they won 19-0, that weird game.
Yeah.
Tom Brady didn't play that game, so that doesn't count. But I do remember one year they did beat Tom Brady in Buffalo. That's all I got to say. It's going to be fun for Bills fans. It's going to be packed. It's going to be great in the first quarter. Fourth quarter, I don't know.
Who knows? The last thing I really want to talk about for this past week, before I move to predictions, this might be the year of the backup quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater looked pretty good, I'd say.
Yes, more surprising. He surprised us all.
We need to discuss Kyle Allen, just tossing up 4 TDs. Looked really good, I thought, as well.
The man, Gardner
Minshew. He was technically a backup. That's the weird part about it when you think about it, right? Is because that injury happened obviously so far, not very far into the year, really.
And he was the backup of probably the best backup of all time.
Yeah, that's true. Well, technically Tom Brady might be the best backup of all time. I said it.
Yeah.
You sit when you usually hear the term backup quarterback, you don't anticipate that. You anticipate more of a J.P. Lossman type,
Matt Leinart,
David Carr type,
Colt McCoy,
Brandon Weeden,
yeah,
Syracuse legend Ryan Nassib.
Yeah.
But these guys showed up and really played
Eric
well.
Dungy.
Not even...
Who I saw at Eastview. Or at Eastview.
Destiny. But hey, the year of the backup quarterback, certainly, I'd say if you don't have Gardner Minshew yet in fantasy, you might as well pick him up and see what happens.
Daniel Jones.
Like I said, Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones, technically he was a backup too. We'll throw him in. See, I have a hard time saying rookies are backups, you know what I mean? Like...
They're just getting warmed.
Yeah. Either way.
Taysom Hill.
Please. Taysom Hill. Aaron Rodgers. Backup.
Yep. What about Case Keenum?
Technically, Kirk Cousins started as a backup in Washington.
Doesn't everyone start as a backup for the most part? Besides your Kyler Murrays. Baker Mayfield was a backup.
Eli Manning didn't start right away.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Didn't Kurt Warner start right away that year?
Might have.
Yeah. Eli Manning.
Yeah.
But I don't know. For you, because you're in an interesting spot for you fantasy-wise, Nick, this year. This might be your most successful start to a fantasy football year in a while.
It is. Do not jinx us.
Do you take a risk on any of these backups, you think?
Well, I do have Carson Wentz, but my backup is Drew Brees.
Whoa.
And I don't have a backup still. I might pull the trigger on Daniel Jones. It is waiver day. I might pull the trigger on Daniel Jones for that backup. Because I think Carson Wentz is finally going to get it going this week. Because we have a big game against the Boise Bombers in Justin. You probably don't know him, but I know him. You all got a Justin in your league, a kid you just can't stand to lose to. You got a Justin in your league.
Boy, I thought you were going down a different path.
But you can't lose to him. Especially when he's 1-2 and you're 2-1. You got to keep that 2-game tiebreaker lead over him. That would be sick after 4 weeks. We'll see how it goes. He's an Eagles fan. That would really crush him if Carson Wentz and Zach Ertz had a big game against him. But if I had to make a move on one of the backups, your original question, Daniel Jones. He might be a standout stud. But if I didn't have to say Daniel Jones and actually like a real backup, Gardner Minshew. I'm on board. I love the stash.
I was about to say, riding the stash.
I love Gardner Minshew, man. I think the Jaguars got a shot at the playoffs.
They really do.
Because the Jets, who is my surprise team, might have to get bumped out.
Yeah.
But not doing picks now. We're doing picks now.
Speaking of Wentz and Ertz, they're the Thursday night game against the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, and I did keep track today.
Oh, yes.
You went 8-8.
Yep.
Again. And I went 9-7.
I'm nothing but consistent.
And your brother won the week with 11-5. You were 16-16 on the season. I am 17-15. Let's go.
Yeah, Eagles at Packers on Thursday night.
Going Eagles.
Really?
Yes.
I'm going Packers. See,
I think it's
the Eagles have a bit of an issue at wide receiver going forward at the moment.
Playing,
what?
Alshon's back.
Is he back?
Yep, I saw it today.
Nelson Aguilar can't catch anything right now.
Even firefighters.
According to our street hero in Philadelphia. So,
yep.
I don't know. The Eagles didn't look all that.
They need a win.
The Eagles didn't look that great, even though they ended up winning.
What game?
Against Detroit.
Detroit won.
This one. Oh, Detroit did win?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yo, where's the respect? I know I'm a Giants fan, but I'm a second team Detroit Lions. Where's the respect? That's disrespect, Paul. 2-0-1, baby. 2-0-1.
But no, I don't like the wide receiver situation in Philly right now. They're struggling bad.
They're 1-2.
So, I agree with you that it's a must win. I usually go that way with these picks.
But who you going with?
But man, Pat enjoys talking about how much I don't like the Packers. This might be the second week in a row I'm going to take the Packers.
All right, I'm going Eagles.
So
I'm feeling them.
Sunday slate, 1 o'clock, Redskins at the Giants.
Not to get sidetracked.
Go ahead.
I can't pick the Packers every week.
No, that's fair.
I'm not going undefeated. They're my Super Bowl pick, but
you have to be a realistic picker.
Yes. Eagles are winning this week. They need it.
I got to take the Giants.
Where is it?
New York.
Yeah, they're a mess. If it was at Washington, I might have picked Washington.
See, why? Not to take your thing, but why? Like,
you
guys even said on Sunday, like, Paul, like, the Bears are, like, the Redskins have a chance against the Bears. I'm like, no, it's good. You want to know, I need to save it. To not give too much away.
Are you giving me a why? I haven't even made my pick yet. But if I was going Washington, I think Daniel Jones might have had a setback week. But I'm going New York. New York Giants. You're locking in Giants?
Yeah.
Giants.
Titans at the Falcons. This might be a must-win for the Falcons here.
It's also a must-win for the Titans.
Oh, that's true.
Titans, they were talking like no one believed in them week 1. Now they've lost 2 straight.
Yeah.
But at Atlanta, I'm taking the Falcons.
Same. I'm going to take Atlanta as well. Chiefs at the Lions. Nick, I'm sorry I got to do this here.
The 2-0-1.
I'm sorry I got to do this here, Detroit Lions, Nick, but I got to take Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs.
You know, I felt bad not picking the Lions last week. I'm taking the Detroit Lions this week.
Wow.
They're at home. Pat Mahomes doesn't win every game. He doesn't win every game. Don't sleep on the Lions. Don't sleep on that coach.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Matt Patricia.
Do not sleep on him.
Okay. Speaking of sleeping, it seemed like Freddie Kitchens was. The Browns are at the Ravens.
Are you going to take Cleveland?
No, I'm taking Baltimore.
I'm taking Baltimore.
You're okay. This is a very intriguing game I've looked at early on already this week. The Raiders at the Colts. It's an interesting line if you're in the gambling side of things. I'm not sold on the Colts just yet. I think they're playing too good. The same token, the Raiders really do need a big bounce back after the way they kind of laid an egg in Minnesota last week. I think it's going to be a pretty, not to say it's going to be a defensive battle, but it's all come down to defense. I think who can stop the bleeding the best. I'm going to go with the Colts.
I'm taking Marlon Mack and the Colts.
Yeah.
But don't sleep on Jacoby Brissett. Get this done.
All right, the Panthers at the Texans. I feel like this might be a unanimous one for both of us on this one.
Yeah. Wasn't too high on the Panthers last week.
Nah.
I'm taking the Texans.
Same. Patriots at the Bills. Taking the Patriots.
I'd love to see the Bills win, but I am taking the Patriots.
This next game is probably a unanimous one as well. Chargers are at the Dolphins. I'm taking the Chargers.
Here's the thing.
Uh-oh.
I do a last man standing.
Uh-oh.
And there was like 50% of people who play the game took the Chargers this week. I'm taking the Chargers right now. But do not sleep on this game. If there's any huge upset this season, it's going to be this game. Because if you remember, Christmas Eve, 2016, the 0-14 Browns won their first game against who?
The Chargers.
The Chargers.
It's true.
Taking the Chargers, though.
First of the 405s, the Buccaneers at the Rams. I'm going to go with the Rams.
Yes, I'm going with the Rams.
Vikings at the Bears. This is a tough one.
I'm going to take the Bears. Made me a little bit of a believer last week. Taking the Bears.
See, I think both teams. I think looking into this matchup, you shouldn't take too much weight into what each team's outcome was this past week, given how bad Oakland played and how bad Washington played. I'm gonna have to go with the Vikings. I think that one kind of hurts me to say, though.
Yeah,
I'm not completely sold on myself saying that one.
It's all right, man.
Seahawks at the Cardinals. The Seahawks need a big bounce back week, in my opinion. I'm gonna take the Seahawks.
Can the Seahawks just play better in the first half and they'll be fine?
Yeah.
Seahawks.
Jaguars at the Broncos. This is an interesting matchup because I think this might be a game where you see Gardner trip up a little bit playing in Denver. It's already had early effects on teams this year.
So you're taking Denver?
No, I'm still taking the Jaguars.
I am on Team Stash. Gardner Minshew, Jaguars winning this game.
Sunday night this week, Cowboys and the Saints. Unfortunately, this one hurts. I got to take the Cowboys. I think you'll see the Saints come a little bit down to earth with Teddy Bridgewater a little bit this week. I think Cowboys' defense has looked better than I anticipated, even though it was Miami even last week. But collectively through the first 3 weeks, that defense looks a bit better than what I thought it would.
Against an Eli Manning offense.
Yeah.
A Redskins offense.
I mean, that's true.
And a Miami Dolphins offense.
It's true.
Alvin Kamara is going to stop that defense this week.
Right.
And the Cowboys are losing. Saints, you sticking with them?
Yeah, unfortunately. Right. The Bengals and the Steelers on Monday night.
Oh, 3?
God. This is like the worst Monday night game ever.
And we thought last week was.
I'm going to take the Steelers at home.
I think it's going to be a train wreck season. I'm taking the Bengals.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you on that one bit.
Bengals have played well. Like, they could have won that Buffalo game. They could have won that Seattle game. Man, they're on the road a lot.
All right.
Get them back in Cincinnati.
Let's take a step away from sports for a second. Masked Singer's back for a second season. We are pretty excited. This was one of our favorite shows this past year in general.
You got pictures of these?
I do have. I got our contestants
Do you have a picture of him to show the audience?
Yes, I do. I don't know what the copyright is like on this one, but we're going to roll with it.
But anyway.
We have, so I'll go to it so we can discuss. We have the Eagle.
Actually, go back. Go back to you.
You want me to go back to me?
Explain the show if they don't remember.
Oh, yeah. So if you don't know, so we have famous celebrities, athletes, blah, 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 dressed up in these elaborate costumes. When they talk normal, they have an auto-tune / mixed-up voice. And when they sing, they don't. It's their natural voice for the most part. A little bit of auto-tune if they need it.
There's 4 judges. I guess on it. Robin Thicke.
Robin Thicke. I had a brain fart. I was about to say Alan Thicke.
Robin Thicke,
Ken Jeong, Jenny McCarthy.
And Nicole Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I forget her name all the time too. But
and the
T-Pain won it last year as the Monster.
Yep. Nick Cannon's the host.
Yep.
T-Pain won as the Monster. Mm-hmm. So basically, they're just guessing. Usually, there's they vote whoever's at the. Mm-hmm. I don't know how. Last year they voted, like who was ever there, and they voted on their phones, and whoever got the least amount of votes went home. They took their mask off, and you found out who the celebrity is. It's just basically a whole guessing game to see who celebrities is out there singing.
Yep.
Sometimes it's a singer, sometimes it's an athlete, sometimes it's not a guy that can't sing at all, like Tommy Chung. But it's fun, to see celebrities out there singing in these ridiculous costumes, and you just figure out who wins at the end. Last year happened to be T-Pain in the Monster. I do not know who's in this year. Paul does.
Yep, so I'll get the list up here. Now
there's 2 people going home tomorrow's episode.
Yes. Now, on the side, next to the pictures, they have guesses of who they think they are and some clues already, so don't dig too much into it. Looks like they used a lot of names over and over again.
Are they giving the heights?
No heights on this one.
No, I'm going to say no, because they messed that up. That gave it away.
Yeah. So, first we have the Eagle. Next we have the Black Widow.
I'm assuming it's 6 girls, 6 guys again.
We'll find out. We have the Ice Cream. We have the Butterfly. We have the Fox. We have the Tree. I believe this is cousin to Stanford Tree. That's a mascot joke.
Really?
I'll show myself out.
Oh, I got you.
We have the Flamingo. The Egg.
The
Leopard. The Skeleton. The Penguin.
Oh, Pat's favorite.
Yeah.
Your brother's favorite.
Yeah. The Panda. We have the Thingamajig.
Really?
Yep. And we have the Purple Flower.
That sounded like more than 12. Maybe it was 12. Anyway, there's 2 going home. Tomorrow's episode, which is on what channel, Paul?
Fox.
And at what time? I think
9.
It's
I don't know.
8 or 9. It's one of those 2. It's on for an hour.
Yeah, I don't know.
What time is The Masked Singer?
I'm not sure.
Well, Siri doesn't know, and you can go to Paul and well, it's it's a good time. I hope they get some better celebrities this year. It's on at 8 p.m. Eastern local time.
It's Eastern. You're pissing me off with that.
Eastern local time. Fox, channel 6 in this area. I think it's like channel 7 in Geneva, maybe. Depends where you're watching. But Fox. And it's on at 8. It's a good time. It's funny. You can see how bad Ken Jeong guesses.
Who's your pick to win?
I like the Thingamajig.
Really?
Yeah. I can't remember if that was a girl or guy, but
I like the Ice Cream.
Ice cream.
I like ice cream.
And wild card, who's going to win? Celebrity? The Thingamajig, I did not see if it was a guy or a girl, but if it's a guy, it's going to be Neil Patrick Harris.
Here we go again. Okay.
And who's your random pick? One guess at it. One stab at it. Actually, you know what? I'll change my pick. Because I think it's going to be a singer who wins every time. And I think my singer who's going to win is G-Eazy.
Yeah, I'm just going to move on to baseball at this point.
No stabs at it.
No. I'm going to move on to baseball.
G-Eazy's going to win the Masked Singer.
The final week of baseball regular season is here. We already broke news today via Nick. Nationals have clinched their spot. So the Yankees have the East wrapped up. Houston's got the West locked up in the AL. The Central's still up for grabs. Atlanta has the East. Washington clinched a wild card berth tonight. The Central's still technically up for grabs, even though St. Louis has at least clinched a spot in the playoffs. Dodgers have clinched the West, obviously. Spring training. Holy cow. Your wild card at the moment in the AL, Tampa Bay and Oakland still hold it, but the Indians are there. They're only back by half game. All you Indians fans out there, welcome to being a fan of the Yankees this week. In the NL, only 2 teams remain. Well, technically 4. Sort of. 3, really. Washington's locked up 1 wild card. The other is up for grabs between Milwaukee, the Cubs, and the Mets. But Milwaukee can lock up tomorrow should the Mets and Cubs both lose. Cubs were losing tonight. So technically, I think the Cubs could get themselves eliminated tonight. I believe, right?
I believe it's 5 games with 5 games to go.
Yeah.
So not technically, but the Cubs lost to the Pirates and the Brewers won. So it's 5 games back with 5 games to go. Phillies, surprisingly, got eliminated today. Not surprisingly on how it's gone, but surprising because they were supposed to be one of the favorites.
Yeah.
Got eliminated today.
Yep.
Your thoughts?
Well, I did pick...
Gabe Kapler.
I like the... Oh, Gabe Kapler screwed. Everything the cage points to that. Joe Madden. My prediction is Joe Madden's a Philly manager next year. Pennsylvania guy. From that side of the state of Pennsylvania.
Disappointing for the Phillies?
Hard to say disappointing considering some of the injuries they've had through the year. I think they need a... that bullpen was going to be a problem. They didn't do anything for it, and it showed. So
McCutchen, big loss.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things. Excuse me, McCutchen was a big loss. He was producing for him and unfortunately went down. So,
and Bryce Harper's just not a guy that's going to lead your team.
Well, yes and no. He's come on. He had a really good summer stretch. He's not going to do some of the stuff Trout does. Likewise, how Trout doesn't do some of the stuff Bryce does.
Were you surprised that Andy Green, the Padres man?
That was surprising, man. Excuse me. Yeah, I was stunned. I don't know what they are thinking. I don't know who they can get.
I know.
It must be that they think that they're closer.
I didn't think they thought they were ready to win this year.
That's what I'm thinking. Is I think they are closer to winning than they thought they were. And it's not a knock on Andy Green. I think he did his job extremely well. And I think, honestly, he deserved to be the manager for the winning. I don't know who they're going to get. It's not a matter, I don't think somebody would want to go to San Diego. It's a matter of the San Diego have a manager that fits them.
Bruce Bochy come back?
No. Apparently, they're targeting Bruce to come in as a front office sort of role. Sort of like how the Diamondbacks have used Tony La Russa. But it sucks. I was a big Andy Green fan. I hope he gets a job somewhere. He deserves it.
Don Mattingly got expensive.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Just
with the Marlins.
If you don't believe in the tank, right there's a prime example. That's all you need to know. This is going to be a fun 5 days here, the rest of the MLB regular season. Although the NL technically can get locked up within the next 24 hours, the AL is going to be the rest of the week.
So what's the AL wild card look like?
Still Oakland and Tampa. Oakland technically hasn't even clinched.
How many games are they up on them?
A game and a half.
Up on who? Tampa?
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Who's the first team out. Cleveland's a half game back of Tampa. So if you think about it, this could not be the AL wild card. We could have a wild card game to get into the wild card game.
That has not happened yet.
It hasn't.
Last year we had some divisional game before the wild, but we haven't had a playing game into the playing game yet. And I've been waiting for that. One of these years, I hope there's going to be 4 teams tied. We have a little bit of a tournament to get into the DS. That would be cool.
So,
but personally, I'm not a fan of the wild card game.
Oh my God, what are you talking about?
I hate it. As a Pirates fan who played 3 straight years of it, I think it's ridiculous that they play 162 games and play one game for a playoff spot. You're not even in the playoffs. Really, you win that play. It's like a tiebreaker game.
I'm with you.
You're technically in, but hypothetically, it feels like you're not in.
I'm with you, but it should be a best of 3.
There you go. Best of 3. I'm with that.
And then the divisional goes to best of 5, and then championship round.
I am all right with the idea of a wild card round. Just not one game. Baseball is not meant for one game. I know they get that they love that one night where it was two teams clinched a wild card last night. It was really the idea of having this game. It's I don't like it. You play the whole season out and you lose one game and it's over. But what I've heard, it's not going anywhere. So that's my opinion on it.
Well, I don't blame you. So stuff to pay attention to. Now our debut of our...
and still good races for the home run, batting title, and all that?
Yeah. I think the big race now comes down to, I'd say, the NL MVP. Should be interesting there. Freddie Freeman looks like he won't be playing really at all this week. Didn't even make the trip with the Braves.
He's choked.
Which means I think you might see, really, in all honesty, the MVP race come down to Anthony Rendon and Cody Bellinger because they're the only 2 playing this week. Obviously, Yelich is out, so I think that's what it'll come down to. I like Rendon's chances, though. He's had a really good second half of the year. Pretty much put the Nationals on his back for pretty much the bulk of the year. So,
and your brother's not gonna like this, but I like Bregman over Trout.
Thank you. Bregman's freaking had a tremendous year. So, let's debut our new segment, Nick. Are you ready?
Yes.
Our lock of the week. Games that we feel are the automatic wins. Games that we think can make you some money. Do you want me to go first with my lock of the week?
You started off since you came up with the idea.
My lock of the week is a Friday night NCAA football game. We are going to the Pac-12 after dark. For Arizona State, 3-1, they're going on the road to face the California Golden Bears, number 15, ranked 4-0 on the year. The over-under on this game is 40 at the moment. That is courtesy of Caesars. Take the over in that game. Pac-12 after dark tends to get a bit nutty. I think it's a very low number. Arizona State has a really good offense. Same thing with Cal. Cal has a very underrated offense.
What is it?
40. Take the over on the 40.
Now, I was going to try to do something like this lock of the week, but I like this better. I was going to do it at the end with my shout-out, but we'll do this. My lock of the week comes on Sunday, NFL.
All right.
Houston, 4-point favorite over Carolina. I like Houston to win by big that game. Take the Houston Texans over the Carolina Panthers. Hopkins is due to have a big game. Deshaun's ready to launch. I like Houston, 4 points over Carolina.
All right, I like that. Hope you guys like that as well. We're going to try and do that pretty much every week as long as we remember to do it.
Yes.
Nick, I'll let you go first with your foul fresh take since I went first with our lock of the week.
So I talked about the Masked Singers, but it's not just the Masked Singer. It is the start of fall shows. It's already started. It started on Monday. Fall shows are back. New shows, old shows, shows that go all year long, shows that are just for the fall. They're back. And you might not like some of the shows I like, like Survivor and Modern Family. And,
Modern Family last season.
Yep, their last season, the Modern Farewell. I like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, South Park, Bob's Burgers. I'm a comedy guy, so that's my type of shows. But if I really might be into American Horror Story this fall. I watched the first episode, not bad. But here's what you need to manage your DVR. If you have so many shows, well, the cool thing about these DVRs these days, you used to only be able to record 2 shows at once. You had to watch one of them. Like, what? Now you can record 6 shows at a time. I think it's 6 at a time. So that's and then you could have a bunch of shows. I remember my grandpa back in the day, he used to have tons of shows at once. He would have 6, 7, 8, 9 shows at once, and he would watch them. He was amazing at that. Right now I got, my brother, we have about 6, 7 shows. So how do you manage it? Well, try to watch one show that night, but really weekends are the key when catching up on shows. But if it's a show like Survivor, you must watch. You don't want to be spoiled. You have to watch that night. A show like that. Any reality show, Masked Singer, watch that night. You don't want to be spoiled. A show like Modern Family, you can save it to a Friday night, Saturday afternoon, after you're done cutting the lawn. Put on Modern Family. It's only going to take 20 minutes to watch it, But if you're looking for a new show, I'd watch Jesus' new show. And you're like, who the heck is Jesus? Jesus is from The Walking Dead. I think his name is Tom Paine. He's got a new show out that I cannot remember the name of. Anyway, look up Tom Paine's new show. That looks like it's all right. I don't know if I'm going to watch it, but I think you should watch it. Yeah, I think you expand. Find a new show. You don't have too many. Don't overshow. Even though it's not a bad idea to overshow, but just don't do it. You might not have time to watch them all. Pick out, 5 good ones. Fall is a great time to watch shows when you're not watching football on Sunday, Saturday, or if you're at the high school game Friday. But yeah, it's a good time for shows. Sad Modern Family's coming to an end. Glad it's coming to an end because I don't know, they must have changed the writers or something because they got pretty bad these last couple years. They need a big year like the Big Bang Theory last year. Hopefully it sees it. I'm just looking for Survivor in the spring. Season 40 should be good. Paul.
Yeah, it's time.
Paine. Oh yeah, Paul.
It's time for change in DC. Redskins fans out there, like myself, we have long suffered too much. Dan Snyder, this front office, led by Bruce Allen, Jay Gruden, they need to go. It's time. Gut the house. This is pathetic what this team has become. Since I've been a fan watching the Redskins, the amount of playoff wins equals the amount of players that have been killed while on our roster. That's one. More people have died on our team while on our team than we've won playoff games. Well, tied. And everything is fine? I'm sick of this. I'm done. I am fed up with this team. It sucks. I'm like, it sucks. It pains me. I had Nick being one of them on Sunday. You would think they're going to not play good. I've seen this team too much. I know what's coming. Jay Gruden's 1-9 in Monday Night Football games. He's lost 8 straight. We haven't won a Monday night game in 6 years. I'm fed up with this team. Fed up with its crap. I hate torturing myself every Sunday.
Are they better than your brother's Dolphins?
No. They're tanking right. We can't even tank right. It sucks. I
What's
hate
the
it.
record this year?
I thought they'd be 6-10. They're gonna be worse.
2-14.
I hope so. Fire everybody. Gut the house. That's my final fresh take.
There. Tough to see.
I think I'm
Tough
good.
to see.
I think I'm good. That's the end of our show. Nick, who are you shouting out?
Well, I just want to. We have error today.
Huh?
PTI errors.
We do have an error?
For me.
Oh.
Prodigal Son is the name of Tom Payne's show. Jesus from The Walking Dead, his new show. It's on 9 p.m. Fox. When's 9:30? Oh, it's not till next Monday. Actually, you know what? No, that's episode 2. So it aired yesterday. So if you want to watch the first episode on demand, episode 2 is next Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern local time. Eastern local time. But my shout out for today. We just completed another fantasy baseball season. Jerry won fantasy baseball, and I won for the first time. I'm just going to shout out Johnny Marino came in second place, Sam Shields, Blake Crawford, Curtis Ireland. They all made the playoffs. Shouting them out. I'm also shouting out Tom Canale, Matt Felice, Jack DeRue, Larry Morris, and Jeremy Frenberg. Thanks for playing. The 10 of us had a great year of fantasy baseball. Sucks that I won the $200 winner take all. Shout out the league. Going for year 3 in March. And that's the end of me. You can take me away now.
Okay. I'll take myself away. I've kind of ran out of energy after that.
Yeah, I feel for you.
I'm not going to lie. It sucks right now. If you haven't already, you should definitely download the app, subscribe, all that fun stuff, because we'll see you here next week, next Tuesday on the Fresh Takes Podcast.